If you're over 50, a blazer can make you look powerful and relevant, or it can make you look dated and sloppy. Most men don't realize the difference usually comes down to tiny details like buttons and lapels. These details are quiet, but they speak loudly about you. They can say sharp, confident man or doesn't know what he's doing. Today we fix that. In this video, you'll learn clear, age-smart rules for blazer buttons and lapels that instantly sharpen your look. You'll know what to choose, what to avoid, and how to use these details to look modern without trying too hard. Whether you're dressing for dinner, a date, or a meeting, your blazer will finally work for you, not against you. Let's turn your blazer into your strongest style weapon after 50. Timeless button rules that never fail. Let's start with the rule most men get wrong: how to button the blazer you already own. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. On a 2-button blazer, you button the top button when you're standing. You never button the bottom one. When you sit, you unbutton completely. On a 3-button blazer, the rule is simple: sometimes, always, never. Sometimes the top, always the middle, never the bottom. But here's the truth for men over 50, most of you will look best in a modern 2-button blazer. It's cleaner, more current, and easier to wear. If you own a 3-button that feels dated, it may be time to retire it or have it slightly reshaped by a good tailor. Why does buttoning matter so much after 50? Because your midsection usually isn't what it was at 25. The wrong buttoning creates pulling, gaping, and strange lines right across your stomach. That instantly makes you look heavier and less polished. The right buttoning creates a smooth, vertical line that slims and sharpens your frame. Pay attention to how the blazer behaves when only the correct button is closed. You should see a gentle V-shape from your shoulders down to the button. No X-shaped pulling across your belly, no open flare at the bottom. If you see those issues even when buttoned correctly, the blazer is either too tight, too long, or simply the wrong cut for your current body. Buttons don't just close the blazer. They control the entire shape. Choosing the right button stance for your body. Now let's talk about where that main button sits on your torso. This is called the button stance, and for men over 50 it's one of the most powerful, underrated details on a blazer. If the button is too high, you look boxy and top-heavy. If it's too low, your torso looks long and your legs look short. You want balance. Stand in front of a mirror wearing a blazer and focus on the main button. Ideally, that button should sit just above your natural waist, not up near your chest and not down near your belly button. For most men, that means roughly in line with, or slightly above, your navel. This creates a flattering V-shape that slims the midsection and lengthens your legs. Perfect for a man over 50 who wants presence without effort. If you carry weight in your stomach, a slightly lower button stance can be dangerous. It cuts across the widest part of your body and makes your midsection the center of attention. That's the opposite of what you want. Instead, choose a blazer where the button sits a touch higher, pulling the eye up toward your chest and face. You still get shape, but the focus is on your upper body. When you're trying on a blazer, don't just check the shoulders and sleeve length. Close the main button and look at where it hits your body. Imagine yourself wearing it with a simple white shirt and dark jeans. If the button placement creates a clean V and you see more chest than stomach, that's your blazer. If the button makes your midsection the star of the show, put it back. The right button stance is H-Smart armor. Lapel width, the H-Smart sweet spot. Now we move to the most visible part of the blazer, the lapels. Lapel width can make you look powerful and modern, or outdated and lost in your own jacket. As a man over 50, you want a lapel that feels strong but not loud. The key word here is balance. Very skinny lapels make you look like you're chasing trends meant for younger guys. They also make your chest look narrower and your head look larger. On the other hand, very wide lapels can make you look like you're stuck in a past decade. Both extremes send the wrong message, trying too hard or not evolving at all. Aim for a classic, medium-width lapel. Not razor-thin, not oversized. When you look in the mirror, the lapel should feel in proportion to your shoulders and your head. If you have broader shoulders or a stronger chest, a slightly fuller lapel can look powerful and masculine. If you're slimmer, keep it clean and moderate so the blazer doesn't overwhelm you. Here's a simple test. Look at where the lapel ends as it moves toward your shoulder. If it's so thin it looks like a necktie, it's too narrow. If it's so wide it dominates your chest, it's too much. Think sharp, not flashy. A medium, well-shaped lapel on a blazer instantly makes a man over 50 look in control, current, and quietly confident. Notch, peak, or shawl, choosing the right lapel style. Beyond width, the style of the lapel sends a message. Most men over 50 are best served by one clear winner, the notch lapel. It's the small V-cut where the collar meets the lapel. Calm, classic, and appropriate almost everywhere. This should be the backbone of your blazer collection. A well-cut notch lapel blazer works with jeans, chinos, or dress trousers. You can wear it with a crisp shirt, a polo, or even a fine gauge knit. It never screams for attention, but it always looks right. For a man over 50, that's exactly what you want, presence without noise. The notch lapel blazer is your everyday, every situation ally. Peak lapels are sharper and more aggressive. They point upward and outward, and they add a sense of power and authority. On a blazer, a subtle peak lapel can look excellent for dressier evenings or important events. But be careful, if the peaks are too wide or exaggerated, they can feel theatrical. Keep them controlled and clean. Shawl lapels are smooth and rounded, with no notch or peak. They belong mostly on tuxedos and very specific evening jackets. For your main blazer rotation, especially after 50, focus on notch lapels, with maybe one peak lapel blazer if your lifestyle calls for it. Every time you look at a blazer, ask yourself, what is this lapel saying about me? You want it to say, confident, refined, and fully at ease in his own skin. Button style and color, quiet details, big impact. Now let's go back to the buttons themselves, not just where they sit. Button style and color can quietly upgrade or quietly destroy a blazer. For men over 50, the goal is simple, subtle strength. You don't want your buttons to shout. You want them to support the overall look. On a navy blazer, classic dark horn style buttons or deep brown work beautifully. They add depth and richness without looking flashy. Bright gold buttons can look traditional, but on many men over 50 they can also feel dated or too showy, especially in casual settings. If your blazer feels like a uniform, your buttons may be too loud. On gray or charcoal blazers, stick with dark, understated buttons. Think dark gray, charcoal, or muted horn. The idea is to keep the eye moving smoothly up toward your face, not stuck on shiny circles at your midsection. If someone remembers your buttons more than your presence, something is off. Also pay attention to how many buttons you have. For most men over 50, a 2-button blazer is the most age-smart and versatile choice. Single-button blazers can be elegant but are more formal and less forgiving on the midsection. 3-button blazers often look dated unless they're cut in a very modern way. Choose buttons that blend into the blazer, not ones that steal the show. The role of the lapel, how your blazer falls. Most men never think about how the lapel actually falls on the chest. But this lapel roll is a big part of how sharp your blazer looks. On a good blazer, the lapel should roll gently from the collar down to the button. Not stiff and flat, not collapsing and wrinkled. Just a smooth, natural curve. If the lapel is pressed completely flat all the way down, the blazer can look cheap or lifeless. On the other hand, if the lapel buckles, bubbles, or twists, it makes the entire blazer look tired. For a man over 50, this matters. You want your blazer to suggest energy and structure, not fatigue. A clean lapel roll does exactly that. When you try on a blazer, close the correct button and look at the lapel. Does it form a relaxed V that frames your shirt and your chest? Or does it look rigid and straight, like cardboard? A good lapel roll gives your upper body shape and presence. It makes even a simple outfit of a white shirt, dark jeans, and a navy blazer look intentional and refined. If the blazer you own has a poor lapel roll, sometimes a skilled tailor or cleaner can lightly press it into a better shape. But if the structure inside the blazer is cheap, there's only so much they can do. When you invest in a new blazer, pay as much attention to the lapel roll as you do to the color. It's one of those quiet details that separates an average jacket from a truly sharp one. Putting it all together, H Smart Blazer Confidence. Now imagine this. You put on a navy 2-button blazer with a medium notch lapel. The main button sits just above your natural waist. You close only that top button when you stand. The lapel rolls cleanly down into a strong V that narrows your midsection and broadens your shoulders. You already look sharper than most men in the room. Your buttons are dark and understated, blending into the fabric. No flash, no noise. Just quiet quality. The lapel width matches your frame. Not skinny, not exaggerated. You pair it with a simple shirt and dark jeans, and suddenly you look like a man who knows exactly what he's doing. No effort, no drama. Just controlled, modern elegance. This is the power of H Smart Blazer rules. You're not chasing trends. You're making smart decisions about buttons, lapels, and structure that work with your current body and your current life. You're using the blazer the way it's meant to be used, as armor. Armor that protects your presence, your confidence, and your standards. From now on, every time you pick up a blazer, ask 3 questions. Where is the main button sitting on my body? What does the lapel width and style say about me? And are these buttons supporting the look or stealing the spotlight? Get those answers right, and your blazer will instantly make you look sharper, stronger, and completely at ease with being a man over 50. If this video helped you understand blazer button and lapel rules in a clearer way, use it. Go to your closet, try on your blazers, and judge them with new eyes. Keep what makes you look sharp. Retire what doesn't. You deserve a wardrobe that matches